Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a synthetic quill green drake nymph. The hook that I have in the vise is a curved shank. This is a size 10. It is a nymph dry fly hook. I'm going to start out going to put some lead-free wire on there. And I'm going to start it at about the middle. We're going to take that right to the eye, or very close to it. And we're going to get that excess off there. Push it all together. Leave yourself a little space for the head of the fly there. I'm using olive thread. This is a dark olive, and this is 6/0. It's a big fly, it doesn't really matter. Going to start it behind the eye of the hook and keep that lead about 1 eye length from the eye. Go ahead and wrap that lead. Get it good in back of it. And you could go over it a couple of times. Now we're going to take our thread to the tail position. Turn it slightly so I can see where I'm at. I'm going to come slightly around the curve. Go ahead and break off the excess. For the tail, I'm going to use, this is Woodduck. You want a dark Woodduck flank feather for the tail, or a mallard flank feather. Nice dark one. Going to take a small bunch, maybe about 1/4 of an inch from the stem. Doesn't matter if they get jazzed up like that. We want the tail to be about maybe half the length of the body. I'm going to tie that in. We're just going to leave that like that. Now I'm going to take my synthetic quills. I have Hemmingways. These are synthetic peacock quill, and these are FX. Real nice. They're made on reflective tape. You can see there on the end the silver reflective tape. I'm going to take that. I took one off. See, it turned into a curly Q here. Not a real big deal though. Going to tie this in. I'm going to leave a pretty good tag because the very end is good for small ones. We want to get to an area that has, you can make a decent size, larger fly with. I'm going to tie that in. Now, for the gills on this nymph, I'm going to use, this is Emu. This is natural Emu. And I'm just going to take one barbel. You want to get a long one. And we're going to tie that in. I'm going to leave that tag short because the emu feather isn't real long. If you could get a gray colored ostrich herl, that'd be good, but they're a little bit heavy. the individual barbels, or what looks like the fuzz, is a little bit heavy on the ostrich, but if that's all you could get, then I would use that. And tie everything in, and the reason we tied all that in, well, two reasons. One is it helps to keep your thread from going inside the lead wraps, and it also helps with making the tapered body. Now we can see we have a pretty good step down there, so I'm going to build this up. I'm going to go all the way back one more time, and then I'm going to come forward. You can see there's a little bit of a dip right there in the center. So I'm going to add a little bit extra thread there. And you don't have to go all the way forward, because the thorax, we just want that abdomen to be tapered. I'm going to go down. I'm not going to go as far. And then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to call that good. Now I'm going to take that emu, and I'm going to wrap that. And it came off. Very delicate feather there. Not a big deal. You can just tie it right back in. Get rid of this piece. And bring that back up. Gonna go ahead and wrap that. If your emu feather isn't long enough, you could actually use two. Put one in and then another. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing here. Unwrap that a bit. I'm going to go ahead and tie that in. There we go, I caught it. I'm going to bring my thread back into them a little bit. Break that off. I'm going to take another. Just get myself a single one. Go ahead and tie that in. Let me back that up there a bit. There we go. And very delicately here. And I'll tie that in. Now I'm going to take that rib, or the synthetic quill rather, and I'm going to wrap that. I'm going to wrap it, palmer it through there, so that the emu will stick out, and there's your gills. You don't have to make it real big open. Just a slight palmer. And there's our gills, and we're going to tie this off. And we've got plenty of synthetic quill left for another fly. Gonna come back and wrap it. There we go. Go ahead and trim that off. Put that on the side for another different fly. Now for the wing case, we're going to take the turkey tail. This one is a little bit skinny, so I'm going to take another one. And you want these tips. You want that the white tip, because they're more flexible. These are over here. It's kind of stiff, and plus you got that molting in there, and that'd be good for a different kind of fly. Now I have that, and that's about 3/8. I'm going to go ahead and trim off a bit of that tip. Now when I tie it in, I'm holding it more on the side, so I kind of want it to go side to side. Now I'm going to take, I have brown olive hair blend dubbing, and I'm going to put a pretty decent amount on there. Just going to wrap it, put some on, wrap it, put some on, wrap it. You don't want to put it on real heavy right off the bat. Build it up. Now I got to get it a little bit heavier on that front there. I don't want to get too close to the eye though. And I'm going to take my wing case. I'm going to fold that wing case over. We're going to tie that in. Hold it there right on top. You can grab the front to kind of center it. Tie that in, trim off that excess, and then tie down that tag there. We got a nice wing case. Now before I go any further, I'm going to take my dubbing teaser and I'm going to tease out the hair. You want it kind of bushy in the front. You can take out any loose ones with your fingers, long guard hairs. See, I have a real long guard here that doesn't want to come out. Now for the legs or throat, I'm going to take a dark partridge feather, and you want one where the barbels are going to come down maybe just about halfway. I'm going to pull that out, take that after shaft and the fluff off it. Going to take my hackle pliers and grab a hold of the tip and then pull them away. Careful with these partridge feathers, they're very delicate. I'm going to tie that in. I'm going to tie that right up to that wing case. Going to trim off that excess, that nice and close. Clean that up just a little bit. Well, you want to keep your thread about halfway on that, between the wing case and the eye. Take my hackle pliers once again and grab a hold of that stem. We're going to pull everything to the one side, and we're going to pull it back as we go. That little piece there that's sticking in front, we could take care of that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a wrap on there. Take the hackle pliers off. Keep that tension on there. You don't want to let go. Put a couple of wraps in front of that, a couple in back. Then you can remove the excess. Just take your cuticle trimmer. Pow. Now I'm going to just fold those back. Those couple that were in front. Now I'm going to take the hackle, and we want to split it on the sides. You want to keep it more towards the down side. We're going to come back on that right up to that wing case. Then we're going to take care of the clean up the head. Got one hackle going up. I'll just snip that off. Take your whip finish. Tug that in there tight. Trim that off. Take care of these couple wild ones. Now we're going to put some head cement on there. You can put a little bit of head cement on the wing case. Help keep it from cracking. Take that head cement right around. And here we have a synthetic quill green drake nymph. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. Please visit my sponsors. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.